Hi, everyone. My name is Mariah Althoff. I am so excited you are here today. Today, we are going to be talking about the pen tool, specifically how to take a sketch that I just like roughly drew in a notebook and turn it into a full-blown vector illustration inside of Adobe Illustrator. So let's go ahead and dive right in, shall we? Okay, so I've already set up my color palette here just to do this as quickly as possible. So I have a wide variety of colors to choose from. I'm going to be implementing a lot of gradients. It's going to be like a really minimalist yet fun and colorful illustration that I have sketched. So first and foremost, we're going to pop the sketch into Illustrator. So I already drew it in my notebook. It's really crappy, you're gonna see. If you believe it or not, I actually was a drawing major in school. But here's like a really quick sketch of like, okay, here's what I want all of the things to be. So if you can't tell what this is right now, I promise it'll look so much better at the end. But I essentially want a fun illustration I can use in my marketing for a new offer that I am building about how to get clients, how to build a following online. And so I want it to be this little like hand holding a phone with a bunch of different elements that have to do with things that I'll be teaching in that program. So that's what this like really sloppy sketch is. So this is also just like a great reminder that you don't have to be good at drawing in order to do really well with the pen tool. So I'm just going to embed this just to be sure. Some things that I will often teach my students who are learning the pen tool is to just trace. In this instance, because I just made like a really rough sketch, I'm just going to use it as a reference. So I'm not going to trace anything here because this looks like garbage. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I am going to hop into the layers panel. And this first layer, I'm just going to name it reference image. Something really cool too that I don't know if you guys do, but you can actually change what color each layer is. I'll show you this again once we dive into actually creating the vector image, but just a fun little fact for you. Go ahead and click OK, and I'm going to lock it. So this layer is just going to have this reference image on it and my color palette, because I'm just referencing both of these things. I want to actually draw on a new layer. So let's go ahead and get started by first just making this phone screen, because everything we do is going to essentially be around that. And I'm not even going to use the pen tool to make that. I am going to start with the rectangle tool. Go ahead and draw a rectangle here. Let's see. And now I'm going to go ahead and highlight over these corners and curve them just a bit. I think I'm going to shrink this. Okay, great. Now let's make the screen part and go ahead and align those. All right, that's actually not bad. Go ahead and curve these lines. Now I'm going to make, all right. So like I mentioned earlier, I want to make like subtle gradients for all of this just to like add to the style of this illustration. So to start with, let's start with the actual phone screen. And we are going to go ahead and just hit the gradient button. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Now I'm going to choose the linear gradient, and we're going to go ahead and double click on the white. And we're going to hit this darker blue and double click on the black and get this teal. And now I also want to just change the direction. So we're going to go ahead and choose 30. All right, I feel good about that. Now for the phone screen, I want to do the same, but I want it to be these light two colors. Okay, same direction. Let's make it a 30-degree angle. And you know what? I think I'm going to make these actually go light to dark instead of dark to light, and transition this to go a little bit lighter. Okay, love that. Now, what I do want to do is have like a little divot here because that's where like the little speaker would be. So we're going to do the same thing. I could use the pen tool to do that, but this is just going to be way more exact. Oops. Okay, go ahead and align everything. And let's just make this color just to make sure we can see it okay. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to select this shape and the screen, and I'm going to go over to the Pathfinder tool, and I'm going to click the minus front, and that's going to make it just cut out of the screen right there. Okay, we have our phone. Now, let's make the hand. This is where the pen tool is going to get extra exciting. Because I want to keep this like super organized, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this iPhone, and then I'm going to draw on the next layer. This is just going to help your process so much as you start adding way more elements. So let's go ahead and start drawing. Okay, you know what? We might trace slightly here, and then we'll refine. So I'm going to go ahead and just start drawing. So what you're going to do is you're going to click and drag, and that is going to create these handles. They're called Bezier handles. Well, they're called Bezier curves. These are handles on the anchor point that make the Bezier curves. None of that really matters. What matters is to use this tool, you click and drag until you get the correct curve you want. Typically, what's going to help you with the pen tool is the less amount of anchor points, the smoother the line is going to look. So we're going to do, we're just going to start like this. Also get rid of that fill because we can't see. And all right, let's see how this bad boy looks up here, actually on our page. For now, we're going to just make this like our light yellow. Okay. Now that I have part of this hand made, I'm going to go ahead and use the direct selection tool and start tweaking some of these points. So what we can do is go in here and actually move things around. Now, this is a great example of when it's really helpful to change the colors of your layers, because the layer color is going to correspond with the path outline color, right? So we know that layer 3 is green, and so we're drawing on layer 3, which means the vector paths are going to be that green color too. But in this case, the green like really clashes with the yellow I'm working with. So what's going to help a lot is if we go in here and just double click on that layer, we can change it to whatever we want. So let's see, what would be useful? Maybe like this burgundy color. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's way easier to see. Okay, so we're going to go back to the direct selection tool, and we're just going to play around with this. I think I don't want this thumb to be super sharp. I thought I might want to have like a little nail moment, but if I do, I just want to add that myself. And all right, we're going to call that good for a second. Now I'm going to call this top hand, but I'm going to add a layer behind the phone and add some context to this hand. So as you can see here, we've done that in this really rough sketch where it'll just add a little more detail that makes this more apparent that it is in fact a hand. Let's make this the darker color for now. I'm going to add gradients to both, but in the meantime, okay. All right, this helps. What I do think I want is to make this a little more stylized. So what we can do here, actually, what do I want to do here? I want to go back to this layer for one. Okay. And we're going to take this and cut it out from right here. Okay, great. Like that more. Now we got to fix this back of a hand. Oops. Okay, layers. Okay, great. Now we need to smooth this line out. There's a few ways you can go about this. This is really helpful if you just want to like smooth out this exact, like, it's almost being read as a corner. So what you can do is just smooth it like that, which honestly looks fine. Another option would be to use the smooth tool. Let's see what that would look like in this instance. Okay, it's not doing a ton to help me. So what we're gonna do is go back to our original plan, oopsies, of just smoothing it like it's a corner. Okay, and I still hate how this is looking. So I'm gonna delete it and we're gonna try again. I just want it to have a little more of a curve. Okay. Yeah, I like that more. All right, now let's add the gradients I just mentioned. Okay. The top hand, I want to do the two lighter yellows. And let's just do 30% like we've been doing this whole time. And then the back part of the hands, we're gonna do the same, but with the two darker yellows. Okay, edit this gradient a little bit so there's a little more contrast. And same with this. Let's see. I might change the direction of that. Yep. Okay, great. So we've got the hand situated. Now let's add all the crazy things on top of this, shall we? Also, I do have the chat open. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm not paying a ton of attention to it, but it is up. So let me know if you need anything as we're going. So let's start out with having these like three little bubbles. Again, we're going to start with the rectangle tool. And let's not forget, we need to put this on a new layer. This is also a fun little trick. So go ahead and create a new layer, put it where you want it to go. And then if you accidentally have drawn something on a different layer, what you can do is if you have that selected, the color is going to help show which layer it's on based on these color codes. However, you can also see that this little square right here, this is like indicating what you have selected on your screen. And what you can do is you can click and drag that to one of the other layers. So now it's on this top layer. We're going to call this bubbles, because I don't know what else to call it. Oh, we'll call this one bottom hand. I'm going to go ahead and lock these layers just so I don't accidentally screw them up. But okay, I'm going to shrink these down. And what I want to do now is make them like complete rounded rectangles, if you will. But I want to add like a fun little flip to each one of them. So I'm going to grab the pen tool again and go ahead and click and drag. No, we're going to go down here. Okay. Let's see, do I like that? Yes, that's a fun shape. All right, so now I'm going to combine these two shapes by heading back to the Pathfinder. Another way you can do this too is the shape builder tool. This is just what I go to for whatever reason. So, okay, we have our fun little bloop on our speech bubble thingies. But now let's edit these gradients. So I'm going to make this our pink color. Okay, that's fun. Now I'm going to make 2 more of these. Okay. I'm also going to make sure that these are all distributed like the same distance by going to the Align panel and choosing Distribute Objects. Okay, I already did that. It's perfect. We love when that works out. Okay. We're going to go to Edit Gradient again, and now we are going to do this orange color. And then this one, we're going to do the yellow color. And since we've already done that, I'm just going to pick it from here, but then swap them. Okay, great. Love that. Now I want to make these 3. One of these is going to be like money because it's about like, oh, you got a client. Another about email, and another about social media. So first things first, let's go in with just the type tool and do the money sign. And honestly, I'm always using Montserrat, so why not do it again? You know what I mean? It's my favorite font, let's be honest. So I'll go ahead and just do 2 of these bad boys. And I'm going to now convert these to a vector shape instead of have them be like a typed font. We can just go to Type, Create Outlines. Okay, I'll make these white and shrink them down a bit. Okay, great. Now I want to make like a little envelope for this one, which we are going to do by starting with the rectangle tool again. Okay, we'll make this on top of the bubbles. Okay, I'm gonna make this like, no, 35% opacity. We'll start there. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that or not. Now I'm gonna head back to the pen tool and we're gonna make like the little top of the envelope. Trying to decide how far down I want it to go. I made it just go right to the center for now, but I do think we're gonna extend it down a little further. Okay, great. And now let's do that again, but I'm going to curve the top of this. I'm gonna copy this, paste it in place, flip her around, and make sure she's lined up. Okay. All right. And this one we're going to make 50. Yeah, okay. I feel great about that. Let's group her and shrink her down. Perfect. Okay. Next, we want to do a heart. Now this I'm going to do again, combination with the pen tool and the shape builder tool, or sorry, the shapes tool. So first I'm going to start with the ellipse tool, which is just a fancy word for a circle. Oh, since we're working on white, we're going to do it on here again too. And go ahead and just do 2 circles right next to each other. But I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the direct selection tool and get rid of this bottom anchor point so that it's just the top of these hearts. And now what I'm going to do, let's combine these for now with the Pathfinder. And then I'm going to use the pen tool to just finish off the bottom of the heart. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this bottom anchor point because this is an open path. And go down to the center. And okay, cool. Do that. And then I'm going to copy this, paste, flip it. And then, okay. We're having issues with getting this exact because I'm going to turn off this. No. Didn't work. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so now we have a full heart. We just need to combine all 3 of these shapes by, again, we're going back to the Pathfinder. Okay, also I am running out of time. So we will get as much of this done as we can and I'll show you the final thing because I've already made this. All right. So now I want to add like fun little lines on each one of these to just like indicate that there's like a message or whatever. So this first one, I just want to do 3 dots because that's what like a text message one would look like. Okay. This one, I want to do just a couple lines. Okay. And then, let's see. The top one, I'm going to do like a little squiggly line just to add some differentiation between the 3 and make it extra fun. So we're going to do that by using the line tool. Let's make it a white line. We'll stick it here. Increase the stroke. I also want to make it rounded. And then we are going to go to Effect. Is it Warp? No, Distort and Transform. And we're going to go to Zigzag. We're going to smooth the corners and just make this like 4. That's fun. Okay. Let's do just 2 of these. Let's make these a little thicker to kind of match the thickness of these. And then we're going to outline the stroke. Okay. We've got that. Should play with the spacing a little bit more. I also want to get through as much of this as possible. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add the play button. We'll do that by grabbing the pen tool and I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna use these like snap guides to just find the center spot. Okay, I just have one more minute, so we'll finish this up. I'll show you what the final thing will look like and just go over some last minute tips. Make that this color. Okay, so the final illustration is this. So as you can see, super fun, super bright, but we used the pen tool, we used the Pathfinder tools, we used the shape builder tools to create a full-fledged illustration, right? So some key points that I want you to take away from this is use the layers panel. That is going to help you so much to like keep everything organized. Change the layer colors as often as you need to create enough contrast, and just to really help you figure out what's on what layer and what needs to come up and down and etc. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an Instagram message. It's at Mariah_Althoff on Instagram. And thanks so much for watching.